All right, so again, we're on page 7 here. Today we're going to be looking at is if we're having parallel perpendicular lines. So we're going to be given some line, and we're going to say, all right, we want this line to be parallel and it's going through this certain point. How can we do that? Or we want this line to be perpendicular and go through this point. How can we do this? So the first thing we're going to do, if we look down here, we're going to graph this equation right here, y equals 3x plus 4. Okay? I'm going to do that in blue. And if I have y equals 3x plus 4, what's our slope for that equation? 3. Or again, we can say 3 over 1. And our y-intercept would be 0, 4. Okay. So we'll come over to our little graph here. And we will start at 0, 4. And then we'll go up 3 into the right 1. And then we'll also go down 3, left 1, continuously until we run out of space. So what we're trying to do then is we're trying to figure out the directions. Again, it's here, say find the equational line through the given point and parallel to this line. So we want to make a line that's parallel to this blue line here, and we want it to go through the point 3,7. Notice this original one does not go through the point 3,7. Okay. So here's how we go about doing that. So here's our steps. Page 7. First thing you're going to do is find the slope of the given equation. And you use this to figure out the slope of the new line. Okay, so we already found the slope of our given equation. We knew that was 3. That was what we did already. And then you need to remember what kind of lines, what kind of slopes each type of line has. So what kind of slopes do parallel lines have? Equal or the same. So parallel lines have equal slopes. And perpendicular lines have opposite, what else?
Reciprocal.
Opposite reciprocal slopes. Good. And remember, if you can't remember what reciprocal means, then write the word flipped with it. So you gotta flip the fraction and you gotta change your sign. Okay, so if we look at doing step 2 for this particular one, our original slope is 3. We want to be parallel, so therefore what kind of lines do we say parallel lines have to have? They have to have equal. So our parallel slope, so I'm going to write m with the parallel lines here, also has to equal 3. Give me a pencil. Pen working? Page 7. Page 7. That's 13. 7. Where's the page 7? Alright, so now that you have the slope is going to be 3, you're going to substitute your new slope in for m and the given point in for x and y. Okay, so this is our given point, just like always, it's x, y. What we're not using is we're not using that original y-intercept for that line. Our y-intercept has to be a new one. So we're going to be solving for b just like we always do. We're solve for b. So if I'm looking at y equals mx plus b, the y is 7, the n is 3 because it has to be parallel. The x is also 3, because that's our x right there. And we're writing plus b. We're going to solve for the b. All right, so to solve for that b, 3 times 3 is 9. And then we'll subtract 9. And we're going to get b equals -2. Again, we just have to write our final equation then. And so our final equation should be y equals 3x minus 2. And that's what step 5 tells us. Write your final equation using your new slope. Using your new slope and new y-intercept. So again, our slope would still be 3 over 1, and now our y-intercept is at 0, -2. So we should, when we graph this, which we will, we should see that it's not going to intersect our blue one, and we should see that it goes through the point 3.7. Hopefully it does. So I'm going to start at 0, -2, and go up 3 over 1. And we can also go down 3, left 1. And if you notice, let's see, 3.7 doesn't go through 3.7. Here's 1, 2, 3, 7. It does. So it's exactly what we wanted, exactly what we expected. It's parallel to that. The green line is parallel to the blue line. It's never touching it, and it's going to be going through 3.7 like we wanted. All right, so the other example then is the perpendicular. So find the equation line through the given point and perpendicular to the given line. So now it's the same line. The blue line's the same. Same point. But now we want it to be perpendicular to that blue line. Okay? So, again, our original line is 3, has a slope of 3. I need to know our perpendicular slope. So this m with the upside down t, that means perpendicular. So tell your person next to you or someone around you, what do you think the perpendicular slope would going to be? If one of the slope is 3, what's the perpendicular slope? That makes sense. Luke, what do you think?
-1/3.
-1/3. Again, signs have to be opposites. This one's positive, so we need a negative. There's really a 1 underneath that 3, so it'll be -1/3. And again, we're not using that y-intercept that was given us. We're trying to figure out a new y-intercept. So we're going to write y equals mx plus b. We plug in what you know, and we solve for the new b. So our y is 7. Our m is -1/3. Our x is 3, and we have plus b. All right, so now we have to find 1/3 of 3. No calculators.
That one's pretty hard.
You take 3 and you break it into 3 equal parts. What's each part?
-1.
1, and then, yeah, we have a negative times a positive, so -1. Remember, if you're multiplying fractions, you can multiply straight across also. If I multiply straight across, -1 times 3 is -3. 3 times 1 is 3. So again, that's another way you can get -1. All right, to get the b by itself, It's a -1 with the b, so we're going to have to add 1. And we get b equals 8. So our final equation would be y equals our perpendicular slope. Make sure you're using the perpendicular slope, the -1/3 x, and it's plus 8. And then we'll graph this in a moment just to double check and make sure that it does what we want it to do. So this one will start at 0,8, our y-intercept 0,8. And then our slope's -1/3, so we can go down 1 into the right 3. And we can also go up 1 into the left 3. And if you notice, they are intersecting at a right angle, so it means they are perpendicular. And it's going through the point 3,7 like we wanted it to. Exactly what we wanted. So you were working on the following. If you did not do numbers 1 to 4 on page 9 yesterday, you should do that. And then you're doing 6, 7, 9 to 11 on page 9 and 10. In class right now, I want you to start working on 9 to 11. Okay, so on page 10, 9 to 11. And then you can work on the others after that.